Hare Krishna. ज्ञानविमलस्य ज्ञानानवशलाते चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Right. We'll continue our discussion. We're in Canto 2, Chapter 7. Yeah, so this is a very nice section of Bhagavatam where all the pastimes. This comes in the third chapter also, and now it is discussed in the second canto, fourth chapter also, all the incarnations, and these are elaborated further in further sections. So Bali Maharaj, we discussed this past time. Of course. We'll just show a revision. We'll just read 2, 3 more. So the personality of God had assumed the incarnation of Narsinghdev in order to vanquish the great fears of the demons. He killed the king of demons, challenged Lord with his club and placed the demons on his chest, pierced him with his nails, rolling his eyes in anger and showing his fearful teeth of no. The next pastime is of the Gajendra Moksha. Then after that, this Gajendra Moksha, 2 shlokas are explained. And then Lord appears as Vamanadev. So Vamanadev, he is delivering Bali Maharaj. And then he says, O Narada, you are taught about the science of God and his transcendental loving service with the personality of God in his incarnation of Hamsa Avatara. He was very much pleased with you due to your intense proportion of devotional service. He also explained unto you lucidly the full science of devotional service, which is specifically understandable by persons who are soul surrendered unto Lord Vamanadev, the personality of Godhead. Yeah, nice points we'll discuss from the purport. The devotee and devotional service are two correlative terms. Unless one is inclined to be a devotee of the Lord, he cannot enter into the intricacies of devotional service. Lord Sri Krishna wanted to explain the Bhagavad Gita, which is the science of devotional service, unto Sri Arjuna. Arjuna is not only his friend, but a great devotee as well. The whole process of is that all living entities, being constitutionally part and parcel of the supreme living being, the absolute personality of Godhead, have proportionately minute independence of action also. So the primary qualification for entering into devotional service of the Lord is that one becomes a willing cooperator, and as such one should voluntarily cooperate with persons who are already engaged in transcendental devotional service of the Lord. By cooperation with such persons, the prospective candidates will gradually learn the techniques of devotional service, and with progress of such learning, one becomes proportionately free from the contamination of material association. Such a stage of purification, such a purification process will establish the prospective candidates in firm faith and gradually elevate him to the stage of transcendental taste. For such devotional service, thus he acquired a genuine attachment for the devotional service of the Lord, and his conviction carries him to the point of ecstasy just prior to the stage of transcendental love. Such a nice way Prabhupada is explaining. It said that presently we want to enjoy ourselves. but we are part of the Lord and have proportionately minute independence. So what we should do with this independence? We should qualification to enter into devotional service is what? We have to cooperate. With whom we should cooperate? One should voluntarily cooperate with a person who is already engaged. That means with the Guru. You cooperate with the Guru, and what Guru will do? By cooperating with such person, the prospective candidates, that means all of us, will gradually learn the techniques of devotional service. We learn how to render service to the Lord. And then we become proportionately free from contamination. So what we do, what are the techniques of devotional service? That is called sadhana, sadhana bhakti. And what happens when we do sadhana bhakti? There is anartha nivritti, proportionality free. Such purification process will establish in the firm faith. That means we come to a stage of nishtha and gradually elevate him to the transcendental taste. Then we get ruchi. And then acquire a genuine attachment. Then asakti, and then there is ecstasy. There is bhava and prema. So this is how Prabhupada very systematically explains. Now, Prabhupada says nice thing here. Such knowledge of devotional service may be divided into two sections, namely preliminary knowledge of the nature of devotional service and secondary knowledge of its execution. Bhagavatam is in relation with the personality of Godhead, his beauty, fame, opulence, dignity, attraction, and transcendental qualities which attract one towards him for exchanges of love and affection. There is natural affinity of living entities for the loving service of Lord. This affinity becomes artificially covered by the influence of material association. And Srimad Bhagavatam helps very genuinely remove the artificial covering. Therefore, it is particularly mentioned herein that Srimad Bhagavatam acts like a lump of transcendental knowledge. And these two sections of transcendental knowledge, devotional service, became revealed to a person who is soul surrendered unto us. So one is about the primary knowledge of devotional service, and then there is also natural affection comes, and this affinity becomes artificially covered by influence of material association. So Srimad Bhagavatam helps one very genuinely. So Bhagavatam gives about the Lord and also tells how to get rid of the coverings which we have. So both things Bhagavatam is doing. In the incarnation of Manu, the Lord became the descendant of Manu dynasty and ruled over the miscreants' kingly order, subduing them by his powerful wheel weapons. And undeterred in all circumstances, his rule was characterized by his glorious fame, which spread over the three lokas, above them to the planetary system of Satyaloka and the topmost of the universe. Then Prabhupada tells about different Manus, how they appear. We will not take. The last line says the Manvantara incarnation chastises all the miscreants rulers of different planets with such a power of as the supreme personality of Godhead, who punishes the miscreants with his wheel weapon. The Manvantara incarnation disseminates the transcendental glories of the Lord. And then this is a very important incarnation for all. This is Dhanvantri. It's a little bit of Ayurveda. Because it is Dhanvantri, so it is, of course, it is little bona fide science, Ayurveda. So I'll give little knowledge on Ayurveda for all of you. I don't know much, but I will try to give you something. And this how the science appeared, this science of Ayurveda. Of course, it is coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is a very proper way to understand this science. There are different sections and different. I am also not so much, but whatever little bit I heard, I will just try to share. Why? What is the reason, the history behind this Ayurveda and all? So maybe in future it will help whoever is ages are increasing. For them, it will be very helpful. What is the main basics? Ayurveda gives a system of introspection or self diagnosis which helps a person to see the disease in the embryo and take some measures. This is how, without bringing to the point that it is simply necessary to go to a doctor. Ayurveda says that disease is easier to prevent than to cure. That is Ayurveda's formula. Presently, what is the problem is not everything is accessible. The knowledge was there, now it is not so much. That is why so many things are burnt by when the invaders came to India. Most of the Shastra and Ayurveda is burnt, very little is remained. And to help to cure from Ayurveda, so much purity is also needed. It's not just the science, because we have some Ayurvedic doctor, they just see the pulse and they can tell what is there. That's how they treat. And we have one doctor, I'll not mention that. He will have a video call, and I had to touch my pulse in the video call, and he will touch his pulse, and he can tell my disease. So don't ask me about him. I'll not. Of course, they can diagnose, but what is the point? No? Only for few people it work. Not everybody works. I don't know why it is. Maybe it is because of karma. And then there is something called ama. Ama is the toxins that pollutes our body. And the Ayurveda helps us to cure this ama. That's why they have this panchakarma and all. And then most of the problems is because of indigested food and indigested emotions also. Both are the cause of diseases. And we'll maybe some other day we go very deeper, but it is very dry because it's not directly to Krishna. Because Dhanvantri came, that's why I'm just giving you some glimpse of Ayurveda, which is helpful also. I'll just read this incarnation, and this is a prayer to Dhanvantri. If somebody has some problem with health, they can chant this because directly Supreme Lord mantras, so there is not a problem. Dhanvantraischa Bhagavan Swayameva Kirtir Namna Nrinam Puru Rujam Ruja Ayu Panti Yagneja Agam Amritayu Ava Vada Ayushvedam Anushasya Avatirya Loke. So I'm not in good in meter, so you can recite this mantra for good health. The Lord is an incarnation of Dhanvantri, very quickly cures the disease of ever deceased living entity simply by his fame personified. And only because of him do the demigods achieve long lives. Thus the personality of God had become ever glorified. He also ex, uh, extract a share from the sacrifice. He also extract a share from the sacrifice, and it is he only who inaugurates a medical science or the knowledge of medicine in the universe. If somebody has bad health, they can chant this mantra, and that is bona fide because it's Supreme Lord only, so no problem. We need not go to any demigods. No need to keep any ring this chant Dhanvantri. As stated in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, everything emanates from the ultimate source of the personality of God. It is therefore understood in this verse that medical science or knowledge of medicines was also inaugurated by the personality of God in his incarnation of Dhanvantri. Thus, the knowledge is recorded in the Vedas. The Vedas are source of all knowledge, and thus knowledge in medical science is also there for the perfect cure of disease of law, the living entities. The embodied living entities diseased by the very construction of his body. Wow, this is a nice point. The embodied living entity is diseased by very construction of his body. The body is symbol of diseases. The disease may differ from one variety to another, but it is must be there just as their birth and death for everyone. So, by the grace of personality of God, not only all are diseases of body and mind cured, but also the soul is relieved of the constant repetition of birth and death. The name of Lord is called Bhavasudhi, or the source of Bhavashadi, the source of cure of disease of material existence. I'll basically tell how it happens. What is the main what happens is there is a disease in the body and disease in the mind. Disease in the body is because of undigested food. You eat something, it is not digesting. So the undigested food turns into ama. Ama is like a toxins which enters into different parts of the body and damages. So the undigested food releases gases. It goes to different parts of the body. You experience some pain and other things, and it enters and so many other things that happens. It spoils the nervous system. It spoils so many other parts, body pains and all. It is like undigested food. Anything comes. Second is emotions. Emotions are also how this happens is there is psychosomatic disease. If mind is not good, it turns into disease in the body. If we are so much in stress, it spoils the digestion. Because what happens? All the energy of the brain of the body goes to the brain when the person is stressed. That's why it stops the digestion process. Generally, when we eat, digestion needs so much energy. But because of stress, the energy is going to the brain. And because all the energy person is in so much stress, the energy went to the brain. Then the energy is not there for digestion, so digestion won't happen. So because of all these mental problems, it affects the digestion. That's why all this psychosomatic disease. And there is somatocyclic disease also because always ill health, mind is also disturbed. But because of mind, so many health related problems. So there are two ways. And another thing, why mental disease? Because emotions are not digested. Emotions are to be digested. That's why the sleep between 10 p.m. and 12 is the most important time, especially 10 to 2 is the most important time to sleep because it digested food also. It digests the because that is the time of pith, pitta. It digested food also, it digests emotions also. The emotions get digested, then what happens is what how emotion get digested. Say I experience so many things in the whole day. Like what happens with the food digestion when we it turns into energy and some unwanted thing. Three parts it becomes. One part of the food goes to the brain, mind. One part it goes to the body to energize the body. And third part it goes out of the body. In general, in normal state. And then same thing with the emotions also. When we go through certain experiences in the day, if unwanted emotions and experiences that we went through the day that are taken away, only the good part will remain with our buddhi. And in that way, a person remains very healthy, even with the body also and with the mind also. This is the system. Now, further few points from because it is not seminar on Ayurveda, but I and Ayurveda, it first thing if you go to Ayurveda, he try to work with digestion process and deals with rejuvenation, cleansing the toxins, and then the vitality increases. Now, so what is the distinguishing factor from Ayurveda and allopathy is that so Ayurveda does not directly treat the disease themselves. The principle of ancient medicine. It is necessary to treat not a disease but a person. And a person is a complete, he is body and mind together. So Ayurveda heals together, body and mind. It does not just when allopathy is symptomatic cure treatment. Say I have headache, so I get medicine for headache. If I have leg pain, I get treatment for my leg. If I have problem with my eye, the treatment is to the eye. So they give to the particular part, they treat that part. But whereas Ayurveda heals everything together, it does not cure any particular disease. Like modern medicine does not treat, it treats the symptoms. For example, when a person goes to the doctor with some running nose, the doctor prescribes some medicine and he takes the medicine and cures the running nose. But then he gets some other gastrointestinal problem, he goes to the doctor, he again cure for it. And then after that, he'll get cancer. He will get cure for the cancer. So, then he get. So this is how I. Of course, it is very helpful now. There are many things which you can diagnose. So allopathy now, but Ayurveda, it is. It cures not only just the disease, there is small illness, but it also tries to understand the whole personality. And Ayurveda medicine is the principle of treatment. Why Ayurveda does not have side effects? Why allopathy have side effects? Because, of course, you take any medicine, there will be, of course, in the West, they write the side effects also. Why side effects? Because I will not go and not because my doctors are allopathy doctors. I don't want to don't want to go so much against allopathy, but it has side effects. And but Ayurveda does not have side effects because it is curing from the root. Ayurveda medicine treats the toxins which are there in the first digestive system. They treat, and the toxins. Medicines does not only bring harm, but it also allopathy. Some toxins are also there, and when actually so many points are there. I'm just skipping some of the things. I'll just take some. So Ayurveda makes it possible to prevent the disease and establish the presence of the disease or the onset of disease much earlier. That is, it is much easier to cure it at the time in the beginning for Ayurveda, not in the later stages. Because, like previously, how it used to happen is if a person is there are four levels. This is I already told. I'll again explain. There are four levels. What is it? First, it cures a little bit of the disease. Then it gives some prescriptions, what not to eat, what to eat, because that will help him to not to get disease like that. And the third thing Ayurveda tells is gives a lifestyle. It tells because your body is pitta, better to avoid some items like that, so that there will be balance of kapha, vata, and pitta. And in that way, a person has a very healthy life. And fourth thing, it tells about the soul. So four levels. One is just cures the disease little bit, gives a prescription not to get that type of disease again. Fourth is a lifestyle which will not make you unhealthy because you are having a certain type of body. And then fourth is it tells that you are not the body, spirit, soul. Also, that is part of it. Now, previously, if a doctor in the ancient times is Ayurvedic doctor, if he goes to different villages, the person, if the villages, the some house he goes, if somebody is sick in the house, they used to not pay for the doctor. The payment for the doctor was when everybody is healthy, then they used to pay to the doctor. That is the system. If somebody is sick, no payment. Now it is exactly opposite. More people are sick, more the payment comes. And uh, some small things I will tell. We say that the external reason is that he has actually so many points are there. I'm just skipping some of the things so that uh, because it is it will be a big. Yeah, Ayurveda makes it possible to control the psychological state, the mood of the person. It gives a person opportunity to perfectly harmonize in mental state. Now, what happens if you go for a cold? Now, in Ayurveda, allopathy, you give the medicine of cold. But when you go to Ayurvedic doctor, he will not give like that. It will not be same medicine for everyone. Anybody comes with cold, it will be same medicine in allopathy. But in Ayurveda, it is not the same medicine. So that is the main difference. The difference is it is based on your nature. You have cold, and they say, okay, if you are a kapha body, you have cold, then there will be different medicine. You are a pitta body, you have cold, you have a different medicine. It's like that. There is a uh, this is this is how the treatment is given. It's a psychological treatment also. And even allopathy, sorry, homeopathy also it goes on mind. The treatment is to the mind. And Prabhupada was also interested in allopathy. Of course, he was selling that. He was also selling allopathy medicines. And Prabhupada also knows something about Ayurveda. If somebody is sick, he used to give some medicines. And there are different points on Ayurveda. I will just the list of reasons why a person becomes sick with what kapha. With kapha, there are certain particular number of diseases. With vata, diseases, and most of the diseases are from vata, the air problem. Imbalance in the air causes all the water problems. And imbalance in water, it is actually not water. These are subtle elements which our body is composed of. And maybe some other seminar only I should take on this. It will not be good to take so much of Bhagavatam, but I will let it. We'll go to the next important topic. So Ayurveda is important. Maybe somebody wants, they can pin me privately. I will send them notes. When the ruling administrator, who are known as Kshatriyas, turned astray from the path of absolute truth, being desirous to suffer in hell, the Lord, in his incarnation on the stage as the sage Parashurama, uprooted the unwanted kings who appeared as the thorns of the earth. Thus he tries 7 times, that means 7 trees, uprooted the Kshatriyas with his keenly sharp chopper. This is about Parashurama. Oh, Prabhupada writes few things about Parashurama, but he tells about more on the Kshatriya. The Kshatriya are the ruling administrator of any part of the universe, either on this planet or on other planets, are actually the representatives of the Almighty Personality of Godhead, and they are meant to lead the subject toward the path of God realization. Every state and its administrator, regardless of nature and administration, monarchy or democracy, oligarchy or dictatorship or autocracy, have the prime responsibility to lead the citizens toward God realization. This is an important point. This is essential for all human beings, and it is the duty of the Father, spiritual master, and ultimately the state to take up the responsibility of leading the citizens toward this end. The whole creation of mental existence is made for this purpose, just to give a chance for the to the fallen souls who rebelled against the will of Supreme Father and thus become conditioned by material nature. The force of material nature gradually leads one to the hellish condition of perpetual pains and miseries. Person going against the prescribed rules and regulations for those in the conditioned life are called Brahmojita Patas, or those going against the path of absolute. They are liable to be punished. Lord Parashurama, an incarnation of personality of Godhead, appeared during such a state of worldly affairs and killed all the miscreant kings 21 times. Now it is not very difficult to Lord come and kill. Many times he is coming and killing. Now also if he wants he can come and kill. But he's just not so much interested with Kali Yuga people. He just said, okay, chant Hare Krishna, whoever is interested there. But previous ages, people are interested. They want to know right things. That's why Lord has to appear many times and he is doing. And people are also good. But Kali Yuga people, they are not have that good qualities. They are not interested in Lord. That's why Lord does not come. He's just coming as Channavatara and giving the holy name. Whoever is interested, they will take. All the people who really want to go against God, they are born in Kali Yuga. So no need of so much of pity all these people. Now, so much wars are going on, people die. We feel so sad. Array, children are killed, women are killed, and old people, helpless people, innocent people are killed. But nobody is innocent only. Kali Yuga people, na, they don't want only to go anything. They're so much interested in their own sense gratification. And along with that, they're interested in mm, their own and wrong things. Like they want God, but God to help them to enjoy themselves. That's how they want God. This is a very unfortunate situation. That's why whoever is little bit sincere, they'll come to Krishna. We just have to catch them. And rest of the people, we should not so much bother. It is not possible only. They are not interested. What we can do? That's why they are born in Kali Yuga. We should not feel so much bad that oh, so many people, so many this, so many that. It is they are not innocent only. It looks little what to say very cruel, but that is a fact. That's why they are in Kali Yuga. Jayadvat Maharaj asked, why bad things happen to good people? Jayadvat Maharaj said, where are good people in this material world? You come to this material world, that means you are bad only. Where are good people in the material world business? The body itself is a proof that I did some mischief. That's why I got this body. Why you are in prison? If you are a good citizen, you are not in prison, right? Who are mischievous people, they are in prison. Same thing with us. And then next comes Lord Rama. Due to his causeless mercy upon all living entities within the universe, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, along with his plenary extensions, appeared in the family of Maharaj Ikshvaku as the Lord of his internal potency Sita. Under the order of his father, Maharaj Dasharatha, he entered the forest, the living, and lived there for considerable years with his wife and younger brother. Ravana, who was very materially powerful, with 10 heads on his shoulders, committed a great offense against him and thus ultimately vanquished. Now, another thing, see, now we say, oh, one bomb destroyed everything. So many bombs are falling and it is destroying people. What does Lord do? He releases fire from the Patal Loka. Ananta releasing fire is burning everything. What is the fire? What is the bombs that are put in the people compared to the fire of Ananta? It is burning everything. All the houses are burned. All the lands are burned. All the people's bodies are burnt. And now it looks, my God, that means uh, this is very, very insignificant. Atomic bombs, this nothing. The whole water will inundate. Whole fire will burn. Bhurtva bhutva praliyate. The Lord destroys means he destroys everything. And whole universe enters into the body of Lord. What is the point to lament in that way? So if Lord is destroying, nobody can control. What is this destruction compared to that? Even this destruction is also orchestrated. That means this is all based on the karma of living entities. They have performed certain karma. They live in that. Now they kill animals, they do parties, they enjoy, and they don't want anything to do with Lord. Lord says, fine with me. And then what happens is if you don't enjoy in a proper way, if you are not performing yajna and we are enjoying wrongly, that is illegal way of enjoying. Without sacrifice, any enjoyment is illegal. So then there will be two punishments. One punishment to the body, one punishment to the mind. Because both get corrupted. Mind get corrupted, body get corrupted. If you don't enjoy properly, if you are enjoying and not as a sacrifice, tomorrow we'll discuss this detail on Saturday morning 9 o'clock class. Both get corrupted. And when body gets corrupted, what happens? Diseases come. And when mind get corrupted, what happens? We feel unhappy. And this is actually happening to the whole world because nobody is doing any sacrifice. And then if they are suffering, and what happens is the mind is corrupted, then you are envious, you are angry, you want to destroy others, you want to control others, all these dictators, all these people, the militants and all. What are militants? Militants are people whose mind is completely corrupt. Right. Now they are going to affect others also. And this is how the system works. And then the people we are trying to protect. So the way to protect from militants is first You do sacrifice. When we do sacrifice, we'll get sufficient strength. Then only it works. Otherwise, militants will keep on increasing only. It will never reduce. Because this is another form of the karma manifested. Militants are coming to a country means what? That is the bad karma, the collective bad karma of the whole country is manifested as a militants. That's why they enter into the whole collective bad karma comes as floods. Collective bad karma comes as the president or prime minister of a country. That's how it is. Whole country is sinful. Then that is manifestation. And individually also it manifests. So it's all nobody is innocent. It's all this is the fact. Yes, bro.
Prabhuji, you're telling all this, but do you have Shastric evidence to prove all you're telling? Sometimes it feels a little bit, um, like, this material world is built for compassion, but whatever you're saying seems to be. I mean, it's hard to, hard to kind of believe like that. Is there any Shastric evidence for that, Prabhu?
Yeah, one is this is from Prabhupada purport only. Prabhupada is telling in the previous purport that this body is symbol of disease, embodied living entities. Disease may differ in varieties. So Prabhupada is telling one. And this Vars purport tells about the purport in first canto only. In the purport, Prabhupada tells the Vars is the arrangement of the Adi Daivika Shaktis, the arrangement from the higher living entities, means they are the forces which are controlling the universe, they are arranging these wars. And it is very easy. So collective karma is also explained by Prabhupada. So it is there in Prabhupada's purport very clearly. I may not have the shlokas reference, but collective karma is there for that is very nicely explained. Prabhupada tells also, and it is easy to understand. Like I have my individual karma, like how when tsunami comes, so many people died. So there, people of that particular karma come to one place, and then all of them are punished at a one time. That is how collective karma is. And collective karma for the nation is also there. The whole nation is corrupt, then the collective karma comes in this form. So that is, I think, Prabhupada purports only. It's very clear and easy to understand also.
Oh,
Of
no,
course,
I understand. I understand tsunami and any disaster, but people killing, women and children. You're saying that they're not innocent, no? So that is a little bit not able to.
why we are getting the body? If they are innocent, their karma only comes to them, na? If I did something wrong in this life, I'll get punishment in next life, right? And if people are doing so many abortions, they're enjoying and they're killing so many children in the womb. What will happen to them? They are born next life. They will also be killed. So who is innocent? If they are killed after 5 years, they said, "Arey, you killed 10 children in the womb." And some doctors are doing so many abortions. They don't understand how much they are going to get for it. And next life, then they will kill. And they are killing some. If a person is there, some very bad cases happen in India. A woman is killed. Now next life, all these 5, 6 people who killed the woman, what will happen to them? They also have to go through the same situation. So it is not by chance it is happening. So it's all connection with each other. So it does not happen by chance, na bro. Some reason is there. Na? We don't say by chance. Ours is is all very loss of nature.
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah. Sometimes it sounds so cruel, but you're right, bro.
Yeah, it looks cruel only, but because you are all devotees, I am directly speaking this. Otherwise, I will not have. In public, I will not tell because devotees directly that side. I am speaking these things. But that is true only. Nothing happens by chance. Even the king of the country is the collective karma of people. If they are very good people, they get a good king. And anything, if people are getting killed or no, Lord Himself does not. That is another thing. Okay, now these militants are killing some people, but when Pralaya comes, Lord clears everything, finish. Nothing remains. In few seconds, whole of America is gone. There is no country, America, no people in that. That's what happens when Pralaya comes. And who is doing it? The Supreme Lord only. So he's giving living entities opportunity. But actually, some things I missed from the previous purport. Yeah. Many Kshatriyas fled from India to other parts of the world at the time, and according to authorities of Mahabharata, the kings of Egypt originally migrated from India because of Parshuram's program of chastisement. The kings or administrators are similarly chastised in all circumstances, whether they become godless and plan a godless civilization. That is the order of Almighty. Yeah, that is always there, the system. And why we should know this so that we don't become so much sentimental and emotional with this. We have to understand the reality and then act according to the reality. It's not that because I don't want to believe, it does not prove that it does not exist. It is like that only. And we have to accept the reality. That is the point. If the Lord want to protect, He will protect in any circumstances. We have seen in Turkey, there was earthquake, a few months old child for 3 days. The child survived. It's few months old. Everybody died in the family. Only the child survived. How? Yeah, because Lord wanted it. That's all. Lord Chandra was ordered by his father Maharaj Dasharatha to leave home for the forest, and the awkward circumstances the Lord, as an ideal son of his father, carried out the order even on the occasion of his being declared as a king of Ayodhya. One of his younger brother Lakshmana desired to go with him, and so also his consort wife Sita ji desired to go with him. The Lord agreed to both of them, and all together they entered the Dandakaranya forest to live there for 14 years. So this is to provide that the Lord is a full incarnation with six opulences in full, and he is therefore mentioned in this verse as Kalesha, or the master of all opulences. Now comes further about Lord Ram. The personality of Godhead, Ramchandra, being aggrieved for his distant intimate friend Sita, glanced at the city of enemy Ravana with red hot eyes like those of Hara, who wanted to burn the kingdom of heaven. The great ocean, tumbling in fear, gave him his way because its family members, the aquatics like the sharks, snakes, and crocodiles, were being burned by the heat of the angry, red hot eyes of the Lord. Now, Lord is also killing here all the asuras. And Kali Yuga, there are so many asuras like that. They have done some mischief. That's how we understand. And even little bit sincerity is there, that's not a loss. Because anyway, this body is going to go only. What is important is the desire to serve. That is there, everybody is protected. Even devotees also die. What is the protection then? Protection is our faith. That's but then it is not wrong also because anyway these things are temporary. What is wrong is our identification with them is wrong. That Lord cannot help. He's trying to help, but we are not trying to take help. The personality of Godhead have every sentiment of sentient being, like all other living beings, because he is the chief of an ordinary living entity, is the supreme control of all other living beings. He is the Nitya, and the chief eternal among all other entities. He is the chief one, and all others are dependent many. The many eternals are supported by one eternal, thus both eternal or qualitative rebirth. Whatever emotions the Lord is having, we also have the emotions. So the Lord became angry. When Lord Chandra was angry and showed his red hot eyes, the whole ocean became heated with the energy, so much so that the aquatics within the great ocean felt the heat, and the personified ocean trembled in fear and offered Lord an easy path for reaching the enemy's side. This is how now Prabhupada read. Can any mundane red hot eyes generate heat in a great ocean? These are the factors to be distinguished in terms of personal and impersonal conception of absolute truth. So this is to be understood. Nobody can make even a glass of water also boil. So yeah, I'm sorry I didn't take an Ayurveda, but I felt it is like going away from Bhagavatam. Let us stick to Bhagavatam, and we will end here. Thank you all very much. Maybe we can tomorrow. We are having discussion on. Um, we'll be having discussion on karma. It will be our part 3. So whoever is interested, they can join. If they are there in the group, you'll get the notification. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki